Hey YouTube, it's your girl Plant Bae J, and I'm back with another video. I just want to give you guys an update on where I am with my VSG journey. As you may have seen in my last video, I had orientation. Everything went pretty smoothly. I got some of my blood work back, and they did say that I'm anemic and they want me to work on those iron levels before we go forward with surgery, and they talking about some options. But overall, this whole video is just going to be an update on the process and where I'm at mentally. So for starters, intake day was actually Valentine's Day, so just about 2 weeks ago. It was super exciting. I met with like 8 different doctors, endocrinologist, her PA, the surgeon. I met with a psychologist, a nutritionist, a physiologist, the guy that basically helps you learn how to work out. And there may have been more people that I met that I'm not remembering at this exact moment. Each person gave me a ton of information, but one thing that I really liked was the amount of reassurance I felt. I was nervous that when I went in, they were gonna look at my track record of diet history and say, you know, you should go home and try harder. And when I explained to them everything that I've been through, especially with the PCOS, with losing weight, with my previous successful weight loss in the past a few years ago, when I actually got down to like 240, 237, they were like, yeah, you definitely have made a lot of attempts. You've put a lot of effort in. You've done a lot of different things. You've tried everything. So they were really supportive, and they really reassured me that I was making a decision for my health and that I was making a good decision. One thing that really sat with me was I went to my parents' house a few weeks ago, and I was looking through some old family photo albums, and I never met my mother's mother. She died in her 50s, really young in life. She was morbidly obese. She was definitely severely overweight. And one thing that I felt when I looked at those pictures was kind of, again, reassured that I'm making the right decision. If this was around in her time and she would have taken advantage of it, you know, maybe I would have got to meet her. You know, maybe she would have had a longer life. So I'm grateful for the opportunity that I have. I'm grateful for the insurance that I have. I'm grateful that this is something that I'm able to actually do for myself. And after many countless attempts of losing weight, some even documented on here, actually most of them were documented on here, I'm just excited to have another beginning. With that being said, I'm not assigned my surgery date yet. I actually have to do 8 weeks worth of nutrition classes, as well as a food journal. And the food journal is extremely thick. Okay, so I keep my food documents in a little notebook just so I can be organized. Here is an example of my day 1 food journal. And I'm showing you this because there's a huge possibility that you'll have to do something similar to this as well. Without getting too specific into what I ate, there is a box for time, the place that you ate, how hungry you actually were, the type of hunger. So there's a book called Mindful Eating that they really want me to read. I have not purchased it yet. Boo on me. Tomatoes, tomatoes. I'm gonna go buy that book. The next section is feeling and emotion before eating, then the actual food and beverages consumed, the portion size, calories, feeling and mood after eating, and if I was too full, yes or no. So that is the food journal. I have to do that every day for at least 30 days, which is really telling because, you know, my nutritionist didn't give me a set diet to follow, but she did stress the importance of me eating 3 meals a day, which is something that I don't normally do. So I'm working on that currently every day. I'm already about 2 weeks into that. Just 2 more weeks of consistent food journaling to go. The physiologist actually gave me workouts to do 3 times a week. So I do work with bands for weight resistance to try to build some muscle. And I'm still doing a lot of walking, which is my favorite activity to do. I walk all the time. On the weekends, I just shop nonstop, but I don't really like, on the weekends, I window shop unless I'm actually shopping. But I usually do like 3 or 4 miles when I'm doing all of my shopping activities, my grocery shopping on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And when I go out partying, I definitely get a lot of steps in then too. So I do walking, and then I do the bands Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I do my food journal, and I'm just keeping up with my homework. So there actually is a lot of work involved into getting a surgery beforehand. I know that my next visit with my nutritionist is going to be even a little tougher because that's when I'm sure she's going to give me some of those pre-op diets to follow so we can start seeing if I can lose any weight. When I went in on day 1, my weight was 286 pounds. Since then, I have gone up to 288. As you guys know, I struggle with PCOS. I struggle with my weight loss. Sometimes the thought of losing weight and the stress of it all does the exact opposite to my body. Yay! So we're just trying to figure it out, and I'm going to do whatever I can to get back under that weight before my next visit. Next thing I kind of want to go over with you guys is what I realized with my family. So like I mentioned earlier, with my family photos and looking at those pictures of like my grandma, my grandpa, and them not being around very long, and seeing how health has kind of affected my family, it just provided a level of reassurance that I couldn't have even imagined. For a long time in my family, there was a lack of support if I ever talked about this. And most of it was when I was like 18, 19. I was like, well, I'm thinking about it. And they were like, no, we don't want you to do that. You know, that's the easy way out, or that's lazy, or there's so many health complications, etc. Well, now fast forward 10 years, I'm still struggling with my weight. Nothing has changed. They're a little bit more supportive now. They do still have their hesitations. They still ask me 100 questions a day, like, have I researched it enough? And are you sure you want to do this? And, you know, we love you just the way you are. But there are some habits that have been ingrained in my family that have also impacted, you know, my weight, have also been the cause of, Cody, stop it. My Chihuahua sees something outside. 1 second. Here she is. This is Cody, my noise-making Chihuahua slash Chiweenie. She is a little mixture of things, but all the things that are feisty and loud. So that'll be her cameo for now. All right, Cody, you're done? Sounds good. I'm gonna put you down now. Okay. So back to what I was saying with my family. They didn't support the decision at first, but they are coming around to it now. Now that I am 30 and I've done my research, and they just seem to be a little bit more supportive. So I'm excited about the process, the journey. Right now I'm in week 3 of my nutritional classes, so I still have 5 more weeks to go after this. And I'll be able to plan my surgery date at the end of March, possibly the beginning of April, just depending on how quickly they let me plan it into these nutritional classes. I also do want to say a special caveat here that I have been in therapy for 2 years. I have dealt with a lot of my eating issues, my binge eating issues, my emotional eating issues. All of that stuff has been things I've learned to cope with, learned to heal through, learned to walk through in therapy. And I'm thankful for my 2 years in therapy. I'm thankful that I still have that therapist. But that still is not enough to get the surgery. I still have to meet with their own therapist, their psychological evaluator, just to make sure that I'm stable and ready. And she does accept notes from my therapist, but she has to do her own little sort of intake with me as well. So going through that as well. I need 3 visits with her, have had 1 so far, have 2 more. My last visit, as far as my appointments are concerned, are scheduled out till May 25th. So it's likely that I won't be able to get my surgery until late May or early June, but we'll see, and I'll follow up with you with more dates about it then. The next thing I wanted to get into with you guys is the cons of weight loss surgery. And the reason I just wanted to talk about this is because I do see a lot of girls make videos about the cons. Like, you lose your hair, and you have to take these excessive amount of vitamins every day, and you know, you have to eat like this or else you'll get dumping syndrome. And you know, all I can say towards that is that, you know, as someone who hasn't had the surgery yet, I'm aware of these being cons, but they're also things that shouldn't be factors, because when you change your diet and you get this surgery and you make this choice, you should be changing the way that you eat. So dumping syndrome isn't a factor. I don't know how that's really going to affect me. We'll have to see after I get the surgery if I still feel so strongly about it. But I just hear a lot of the cons from women who just don't seem like they're really ready to give up their bad habits. And to that I say, well, it makes sense why you see XYZ as a con. You know, a lot of women that complain about loose skin, but they don't work out, or they don't do the workouts that were told to them by their physiologist or by a trainer or anything like that. You know, they complain about things like these vitamins, but they've never taken vitamins in their life. I've been taking vitamins my whole life. So what would be adding on a new vitamin or switching out the ones I have for something a little stronger? I'm excited about the process. The whole anemic thing that they mentioned with my blood work, I'm a little nervous about, because she did let me know, hey, if your anemia doesn't go up some more, we may have to do iron fusions with you. Iron fusions still sound better to me than blood transfusions, which I've heard people do. But, you know, I'm hoping that I can improve those numbers naturally. I've been taking iron supplements, and I'm going to go and invest in some liquid supplements as well, so I can take 2 different forms of iron every day, hopefully to get those numbers up to a higher level. We don't know exactly why I'm so anemic, but honestly, like, my anemia has improved tremendously. I remember at some point last year, I had went to the doctor, they got my blood, they said my blood levels were at like a 5 or something like that, which was like super low. They were calling me, talking about, you got to come back and do a blood transfusion. I was like, I'm not with that. I'm not with that. Since then, I have been taking iron supplements. I've gotten my numbers to like an 8.8, but I guess the normal number is still 12. So my doctor was like, you're still severely anemic. And I'm like, I'm doing better than I was before. So anyway, I'm just going to keep working on that as best I can naturally. And hopefully I can avoid those extra transfusions, and I won't have too many issues with the surgery. The last thing I want to talk to you guys, and I actually took notes this time, which is not something I normally do, but I want to make sure I covered all the basics with you. All of the bases with you. Cody, get off of my couch. Dogs, okay? Last thing I want to cover with you, cost of the surgery. So the surgery, after my insurance, they told me it was going to be about $4,300, but after my intake day, I got a $1,600 bill from all the different visits that I had. I called in today, and they let me know that $1,500 would be deducted from the $4,300. So that is good news. And they do offer payment plans. So I'm excited about having that paid for and paid off. I don't want to be on anybody's payment plan for that, but it's definitely good to know that they have the options available. The last thing that I want to talk to you guys about is a poetry book. So it's not VSG related technically, but if you have been following me and you've seen my journey, you've seen a ton of different things that I've done. You've seen me lose weight, gain weight. There's even a video where I cut off all of my hair, and that was like 3 years ago. And for the most part, it's all back. So we're happy with that. But this last thing is something that's really important to me. It's a passion project of mine. I'm all about love. I made a book called Intentional Love. It's a small book, not very large, about 30 poems roughly. This book it's me to me, front to back, okay? Every poem is about love, whether it be familial, friendship, romantic, heartbreak, depression, self-love. All of these poems are something, they're something that I wrote that I feel strongly about. They all reflect love in different ways. So if you do want to support me and you haven't followed my journey, please feel free to pick up a copy of Intentional Love. It is available on Amazon. My name is Jordan Tyler. So my writer name again is Jordan Tyler. The book is called Intentional Love. The book is selling for $12.99. And again, it's all about love, all the different types of love that I've come across in my life, all the heartbreaks and disappointments, plus the beautiful things that I see as well. So please feel free to pick up a copy of this. I painted this cover myself by hand. I took this picture of myself back when I was last year on my birthday, when I was dealing with my phentermine journey. I took that picture of myself, and I loved it so much that I used it for my About the Author section. If you want to know a little bit more about me, this is how you can do that. But also, if you just are someone who deals with a lot of heartbreak or a lot of failed love, and you're a hopeful romantic, I'd say hopeful versus hopeless, because hopeful implies that I'm going to have that one day, versus hopeless, which is just like so sad and heart-stricken, so just heartbroken, you know. I am a hopeful romantic. This book is called Intentional Love, Digestible Heartbreak for the Hopeful Romantic, which is me. So if you relate to that or you're interested in that, please feel free to buy a copy of this. All proceeds, again, will go to support that $4,300 balance I'm going to have at the end of this VSG surgery. But also just goes to support a Black female author, and it is Black History Month. So please feel free to support my book. I thank you guys for watching. I thank you guys for tuning in to my videos. Though they may be lengthy, I hope they were full of some good information for you. If you do have questions, comments, concerns, or if you just want to have a conversation about VSG, because I know when I was first considering it, I had certain catalysts that I had to get through and get over. I was like, I don't want to do this because I feel XYZ. I feel guilty. I feel like I should know better. I feel like I should try harder. I feel like all these ways that I felt, and then there's a certain part of me that had to just deal with the fact that, when you have PCOS, you have a few more roadblocks ahead of you. And if you're tired of fighting those roadblocks and you want to find help, you owe it to yourself to have help. I'm sure that if my family, my grandmother could have been around longer or had these options available to her, that she would have been around. And one thing about it that's so special when I think about my grandmother, Amanda, is that I am a writer, and I found out late in life that she was a writer as well. I speak Spanish, not 100% fluent, but I'm working on it. And I found out she spoke Spanish fluently. I just realized that in a lot of ways, I was kind of reborn as my grandmother, who I never met. And I hope that getting this surgery will give me a long life, a life where I'll be able to have kids. Because those with PCOS know that if you can't lose weight, your chances of, increasing fertility is pretty low. There's other natural alternatives you can do, though, other vitamins you can take, other people you can talk to and consult with to change that. But, for me, I just feel like this surgery is a last resort for me. Not an easy route. I want to be clear about that, because nothing has been easy. When I do my fast food choices or when I eat out or go out with friends, I'm still a person who is mindful of calories and what I'm consuming. I'm not a burgers and fries type girl. I am not a fast food everyday type girl. And when it is fast food every day, it is the healthiest options I can find. It is Chick-fil-A salads. It is Chipotle bowls. It is just grilled fish and zucchini. I really try hard to make the healthy choice when I go out to eat, and I don't want that to be misconstrued. And I also work very hard at portion control. Even now, before having surgery, I split all of my meals in half. So I'm very excited to see how successful I'm going to be at this surgery and at this journey. I know that I'm going to be successful. I'm excited to turn 31 and have a whole new beginning in front of me at the end of this year. And I'm just excited for the future. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for supporting. I know this video was a little longer than my usual ones, but I appreciate all that you do and for all of your time. So like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know how you're feeling. Get inside my head. If you want to follow me on IG, my Instagram name is also PlantBayJ. That's PlantBayJAE. Feel free to get at me on Instagram as well. I do reply. And if you have anything else you want to share with me, if you've already had VSG, if you're considering it, please feel free to reach out to me. Give me your opinions or thoughts. And I just can't wait to talk to you guys. So thanks for sharing this journey with me. Love you tremendously. Bye.